Oh, hello guys. Welcome. I didn't see you guys there. Talking about bad actors. Oh, hey guys. Oh, I'm trying to train your PR. Okay, shh. Gonna qualify in Vegas. Oh, hello guys. Welcome to another video. I'm glad you guys are here. We're gonna be talking all about sleep. So sleep is so important, and if you don't get enough sleep, you're gonna end up drowsy and fatigued and find yourself sleeping in all sorts of random places. Hey guys, it's me, Elaine. I'm back with another video. Today I'm going to be talking to you guys about a very often overlooked recovery method. Free, well, it costs nothing except your time. So I'm going to be talking to you guys about sleep. And in this video, I'm going to go over why sleep is really important in athletic performance and some tips on how to sleep better. So let's get started. Sleep is very important, just as important as eating well and training well. Sleep is an essential part of being an athlete. Why is sleep important? They've actually done a lot of studies. Stanford studied their basketball team and they extended to 10 hours of sleep a night, and they saw a really big difference in the energy levels and also as the reaction times, the accuracy of these athletes. Definitely getting more sleep will help weightlifters and actually anybody function better because it really helps with your memory, your concentration, motivation, focus. So in weightlifting, a lot of the lifts are very technical and you have to really pay attention to little cues that your coach is telling you. So it's like a mind and body kind of connection. So if you're fatigued, that will definitely impact the way that you're lifting, your snappiness level, your attention level. Sleep has also been found to lengthen an athlete's career. So that is kind of interesting. So they found a linear effect of the more sleep one gets during their athletic career, the longer they actually end up lifting. And so one of my personal goals is to have a long, I want weightlifting to be in my life long term and for it to be a fun thing that, my family and I can enjoy together. So that is definitely a benefit of trying to get a little more sleep every night, is that you can lift longer. Getting more sleep also prevents injuries. Athletes who get less than 6 hours of sleep prone to more injury, probably because of the decreased accuracy. Sleep also can decrease inflammation, which is always something for recovery that athletes are looking for. You're taking anti-inflammatories and blah, blah, to make sure that your muscles get restored, repaired while you're in deep sleep. And all that restoration and the HGH hormone, which is really good for rebuilding. You want to grow your gains while you're asleep. That happens when you first fall into that deep delta wave sleep, that really good sleep. That's when your muscles are really recovering. That's when all this protein synthesis is happening. So you can lift as much weights as you want, but you're just tearing your muscles apart when you're training at the gym. So when you're resting and sleeping, that is when you want to utilize that time to actually make gains, get stronger, and rebuild those muscles so that you can wake up, train again, and get even more strong. Being fatigued also decreases muscle memory capabilities. If you learn something one day, you might not be able to translate it into future training sessions. And so nobody wants that. So make sure you get enough sleep so that your muscles can remember everything that you're trying to teach. Other than athletic performance, being sleep deprived can also affect glucose metabolism. So for those people who are prone to becoming diabetic or are already diabetic, this can even make it worse because of insulin resistance, impaired use of your glucose. Sleeping also has to do with levels of leptin in your body, which regulate hunger and body fat. Also, you have to consider your quality of sleep. If you guys haven't heard of sleep apnea, that's like if people who have some kind of obstruction while they're sleeping or they stop breathing while they're sleeping. So you might want to get tested if someone tells you that you snore really loud, or if you sleep for a really long time, but when you wake up, you just feel really groggy, like you didn't get a good night's rest. You might want to get tested for sleep apnea. They would possibly recommend you wearing a mask to sleep at night, but at least you're getting better sleep. And when you sleep and your body can't get that oxygen that it needs, instead of resting, your body is actually stressed out. Vessels are constricting because they want to pump all that oxygen to your vital organs instead of places like your muscles where your muscles need to grow and recover. Your body's basically just trying to survive and get all that oxygen to your heart and your liver, your lungs, all that. A lot of weightlifters and bodybuilders and people with big muscles, sometimes they can get it too, even though they are very fit and active. The muscles on your chest are so heavy and weighs you down and can cause a little bit of a sleep apnea. Sometimes you're just genetically predisposed, even if there's no obstruction or anything like that, you can still have sleep apnea. So how much sleep do you actually need? Each person's sleep is different. So if I get like 7 hours of sleep, for me, that's my sweet spot. So everybody's sleep requirement is different. So you might want to start keeping a sleep journal. So you want to keep track of how much you slept, how you felt the next day in training, and kind of record your sleep hygiene before you go to sleep, how long it took you to fall asleep. Now they're even actually, so sleep is becoming more popular for like high performing athletes. So keep a sleep journal because every person's sleep requirement is different. So some will generally say somewhere between 7 to 10 hours. Obviously, if your main profession is not an elite athlete, then that is kind of a lot of time to be sleeping in bed. So I recommend a sleep journal. Just start recording what you're actually doing now. So don't change anything, just like your diet. I don't recommend people to just change everything overnight. Just start recording what you're doing currently and then start making little changes at a time and then record if that affects you, like your training is better or you're feeling less hungry all the time during the day, you're taking in less caffeine because you feel less tired, because you got maybe an extra 30 minutes of sleep. And you can kind of become a little creative with how you piece together your sleep. Maybe it's taking naps. For some people, naps aren't really recommended because it will affect your sleep for later in the night. But if you're a mom like me of a little one and you work full time and you're training and all that, sometimes, an afternoon nap for like 30 minutes to an hour is just what you need to give you just a little bit more of a boost. Or if it's sleep training your children along with yourself, so when you start getting your baby into a bedtime routine, like for example, my baby, if we bathe her with lavender, baby shampoo lavender, and start winding down, turning off all your electronic devices, because all that can affect, the light of your electronic devices actually stimulates you. So turning everything off, no TV, no bright lights, no stimulation, no playing peekaboo. I always get mad at Matt when she's trying to play peekaboo and all that when I'm trying to get her to wind down. So none of that, no peekaboo, just Pika sleep. Maintaining a regular routine. If you have kids, try to get them into the routine and try to get yourself in the same routine. So when you bathe your kid, you need to start brushing your teeth and all that and start winding yourself down. Or if you don't have kids, you got to be even more disciplined and give yourself a bedtime, 8:30 or 9 or 10, whenever you are falling asleep. Or if you work night shift like I do sometimes, if it's 8 in the morning, put some sun cancellation curtains and get to sleep, because establishing a routine is really important. And so you want to record all these little changes that you're making and how it's affecting you in the gym and also in everyday life, your energy levels, your concentration, your memory, your accuracy. It's so good for you. Try to utilize sleep just like you are tuning in with your nutrition. You need to tune in with your body's recovery in regards to sleep. There are sleep trackers out there that are very expensive. You don't need to buy that. You simply can download an app. If you have an iPhone watch, some of that will do it too. The iPhone app will actually put it next to you, and then it just tracks like how much you tossed and turned during the night. So that's, that's good enough. Or even just you reporting how well you think you slept the night before, and then just recording that. Starting there would be really good. And then later on, if you want even more precise data, then you can invest in something like that. Sleep also decreases pain thresholds. So you may feel more pain the less sleep you get. So you can perceive more pain and think that you're experiencing more pain. So if you sleep more, it'll be painless. So now I'm gonna go over some tips for establishing a good sleep routine, and some tips and guidelines to tune into your sleep routine. So some things are keeping a rule of 3 S's in bed. There's only 3 that are recommended S's. Sleep, when you're sick, and when you gotta have sex. Oh. So keep it to those 3 things in bed. No screens though. No screens. Screens is not one of the S's. Shallow squatting is not one of the S's. Don't go to bed like on your phone. Next thing you know, it's 2 hours later, you're still scrolling away or swiping away. So anyways, keep the bed for what it's used for, so that you can train your mind to just fall asleep quicker. Another thing to consider too is your body positioning. If you have boulder shoulders, which you should be having, you may need like a bigger pillow just to stay neutral with your neck. If you're a side sleeper, you might want to put a pillow in between your legs just to keep your body neutral. If you have a tennis elbow, like I'm battling, someone recommended to me to get a wrist support, so that when you're sleeping and you have your hands here and under your head or something, you don't want your wrist to be doing all sorts of things, and when you wake up in the morning you have so much pain in your elbow. Your bed is a smart bed, and you can raise the knees a little bit, raise the head, whatever you need. Just try to get the most comfortable sleep so that your back doesn't hurt in the morning and you don't have all these aches and pains. Unplug devices, keep the lights down real low, dark as possible is good for optimal recovery. Maintaining a regular sleep schedule, keeping it cool. So about 65 to 68 degrees is recommended for good temperature for sleeping. Decreasing your alcohol intake. So alcohol can hinder muscle growth and decrease testosterone levels, which nobody wants that. And it also messes with your sleep-wake cycles, also known as your circadian rhythm. So try to decrease your alcohol intake, especially before bedtime. Try to work out in the morning. Working out gets your body temperature up and increases your alertness. So if you absolutely have to work out in the evening time, try to make it 3 or more hours before your bedtime. If you can't fall asleep, maybe you can try yoga, or doing like a little yoga in bed, a little stretching, just in those passive positions, make you very sleepy and tired. Clear your mind, do some deep breathing with that. My husband and I, again, like I said, we're subscribed to Ramwad, so you can do that. I do that all the time in bed with my baby while she's falling asleep. Just make you a little more sleepy. If you find that you're in bed for longer than an hour or so, you can't fall asleep, just get out of bed, just go do something, get up, read something, get some water, and then try again, because chances are if you haven't fallen asleep in an hour, hour's gonna turn into 2 hours to 3 hours. So just try to do something else to wind down if you haven't fallen asleep yet. For some people, white ambient noise or white noises can help them fall asleep or stay asleep. There's a lot of free apps that you can buy on your phone that will play white noises, or if it's an air purifier or something else, a fan in the room that can help you, definitely utilize that. And then also limiting your caffeine and knowing how your body reacts to a cup of coffee or a soda or something. Hopefully you're not drinking soda, but just limiting your caffeine intake at the end of the day might help you fall asleep faster at night. If you know that you can't have coffee past 4 p.m. or else it's gonna mess with your sleep, don't do it. That's why sleep is really important. It's very underutilized. It comes at no cost, but it does require some thinking and some time management and just being very creative. If you have kids or you got other responsibilities, it can be very difficult. With that, I'm gonna end this video. If you guys like this video, make sure you give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed to my channel, make sure you subscribe, turn on the notifications so you know exactly when my next video is gonna be released. If you guys have any other suggestions for sleep habits or sleep routine tips, especially when you have a little baby, go ahead and leave those in the comments below. And I'll see you guys in the next one. What should I say? Sweet dreams. Yeah? You're gonna wanna make sure that your sleep is as deep as your squats. There is no place for shallow squatting or shallow sleeping.